Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Atari ST A to Z, a series of short playthroughs of Atari ST games, some which I grew up with and some which are new to me. Today is one of the latter. Today we're taking a look at the Temple of Apshai Trilogy for Atari ST. Now we've previously looked at this on the Atari 8-bit Atari A to Z series, so please refer to those videos for a bit more background on this game. I won't repeat myself here unnecessarily, but yeah, suffice to say this was a 1986 port of the Temple of Apshai Trilogy following the 1985 release of the 8-bit versions of it. In its original form, the Temple of Apshai Trilogy, and specifically the Temple of Apshai, was one of the first computer role-playing games out there, and it took a heavy inspiration from Dungeons and Dragons to such a degree that it was mostly cross-compatible with it. You could enter your character statistics from a D&D character into Temple of Apshai, and vice versa as well, and in fact the game's manual encourages you to do that. So this Atari ST version that we're looking at today was developed by Westwood, yes, that Westwood, who went on to make things like Command & Conquer and Lands of Lore and Eye of the Beholder and all sorts of other things like that. So this is one of their early works. It was specifically designed to take advantage of the additional power and flexibility of the Atari ST. So it has a gem interface and the text of the Book of Apshai, which is a book you had to have by your side and read from while you were playing the 8-bit versions of the game. The text from that book is actually included in the ST version of the game, so you can pop it up in a separate window and read it from there rather than having to look at a book. So yeah, like I say, check out the versions, the videos on the Atari 8-bit version for a bit more information on this. But for today, we're going to have a go at the ST version and see how it compares. So let's go play the Temple of Apshai.
Okay, here we are with the Temple of Apshai Trilogy for Atari ST. I didn't know this version of the game existed until quite recently, so I was quite intrigued to check it out because I always liked the Atari 8-bit version, and particularly now that I understand how they work and that sort of thing, because I didn't really understand how role-playing games worked as a kid. But yeah, this version is interesting for several reasons, because it's created by Westwood, because it makes heavy use of the gem interface, and because it includes the content of the Book of Apshai, which means you don't have to have the book by your side while you're playing, which some of you may find to be a downside, some of you may find to be a selling point. I always rather liked having to read from the book as you went through it. It gave it a very kind of tabletop role-playing feel to it. Anyway, here we go. So from here, we can quit to desktop from the desk menu. We can load, save, kill, create, or enter a character. And then we can jump into any of the 3 modules, or continue a saved adventure. And then with the innkeeper, once we've created a character, or loaded a character, we can buy stuff. So we'll start with create a character. Enter your character's name. Let's not be Brian Nailfoot. Let's be ST Pete. Right, so there are our stats. Now, in a notable difference from the Atari 8-bit version, you are not stuck with those stats. If you want to re-roll your character, you can just choose create character again. It'll remember your name, and then it'll just re-roll your character for you, which is a blessed relief. So let's try and get decent strength and constitution, because those are probably some of the more useful stats in this game. Your alternative, of course, is you can use enter character to just type in the stats you want, and that is the way that this game is considered to be cross-compatible with Dungeons and Dragons, because you could just take the stats of your character from D&D and type them into the Temple of Apshai, and then in theory you're playing the same character. This is not going well, is it? Strength 15 is nice, but that's terrible constitution to go with it. Oh, this isn't going well. Come on, give me something where everything's double figures. That would be nice. Getting such low scores for like some of the most useful stats. I'm this far away from typing it in myself. Getting lots of intelligence, which is not terribly useful in this game, because you don't really do magic. That's not awful, but it's not brilliant either. You know what? Sod it. Alright, so let's say intelligence, let's say 10. Intuition, I'll go for 9. Ego, I'll go for 11. Strength, I'll go 18, because obviously. Constitution, I'll go 16. And dexterity, let's say 15. So I could have maxed all those out at 18 if I wanted to, but no, I'm not going to. You see, you can also actually put your inventory in there as well. So just to actually no, let's not do that. Let's go through the purchase process. So we'll say experience 0, silver. Let's give ourselves 150. And our name is ST Pete. Right, so from here we now have to buy ourselves weapons. This is part of the creation process here. You can give yourself a weapon to start with if you want to, or you can just cancel out of that. Cancel out of that. The armor's plus is how much that's been upgraded by magic. So you see, this is how you would start a character if you'd rolled it yourself and you'd got these stats. So you then go to the innkeeper to buy the bits and pieces that you need. So you buy the armor. We'll start with some leather armor and say, okay. I see your keen eye has found a well-cured suit of leather armor. How much wouldst thou offer for it? The retail price is 30. We have 150 silver remaining. I'm going to offer 20 for it. I spit on thy paltry offer. Let's offer him 25 then. Blackheart, thou takest food from my children's mouths. No less than 29. You can have 27 and you'll like it. 28? Thou art a hard bargainer. Done. Fare thee well. All right. Let us then buy a large shield for 10. Perhaps thou wilt not have this. I'd not part with these fine goods for that pittance, mayhap for 15. Not so cheap, my friend, but for thee just 15. Well, life is short and thy arse long. What say thee to 14? 14 is fine. Alright, so now we've got a large shield. Let us buy a weapon. Let's get a short sword to begin with. Or maybe a broadsword, that's not that expensive. I see your keen eye has found a broadsword, straight and true. How much wouldst thou offer for it? I will offer thee 16, sir. A pox on thee, but I'd take 18. Okay. I also need a bow, which I'll pay you 10 for. I won't part with it for less than 11. 11 is fine. Thou art a hard bargainer. Done. Fare thee well. Let's buy some arrows. 2 arrows per silver. So let's buy 20 of them. And let's buy some salves. Let's get 10 of those. Can we afford that? I don't think we can we? Let's get 5 of those. Okay. And we should be good to go. So what we can do then is we can save our character. Pete. And that means we can easily recall that character at a later time if we needed to. Right, what we do then is we choose which module we want to go into. The Temple of Apshai, the Upper Reaches of Apshai, and the Curse of Ra. Now, like I did on the Atari 8-bit version, I'm quite tempted to do a few sessions on this because I do like this game. And I'm interested to try out the ST version and put it through its paces a bit. So let us start with the Temple of Apshai and level 1. And this will hopefully look familiar if you've watched the 8-bit version of this on the Atari A to Z series. But it will also have a few twists as well. So here we are in the first room. If we go into Game and choose Description, the smooth stonework of the passageway floor shows that advanced methods were used in its creation. A skeleton sprawls on the floor just inside the door, a bony hand still clutching a rusty dagger, outstretched towards the door to safety. A faint roaring sound can be heard from the far end of the passage. So that is what was in the Book of Apshai. On the 8-bit version, you would have had to read that from a book. But here you've just got access to it in the game itself. So we are confronted with a skeleton. So from here, you can use the menus to do all your stuff, or you can press the shortcut keys, the same as in the 8-bit version. You can use to pass your turn, which basically allows the enemy to move without you doing anything. And then in options, you've got all this stuff as well. So all of the actions you could do with the keyboard in the 8-bit version, you can do through the menus in this one. So for now, I'm going to fire an arrow at this skeleton. Arrow hits and the skeleton approaches. And it dies. So I'm not sure if how good the arrows were in the Atari 8-bit version was a bug or not. But they certainly seem to be a little bit more variable in their performance in this one. So you don't necessarily kill absolutely everything with a single arrow shot in this one. Now, it may just have been that I had like supremely high dexterity or something in the Atari 8-bit version. I forget what my actual stats were, but yeah, you can't kill everything with just one arrow in this one. A finely carved and painted mural fills the east wall of the passage opposite the opening, depicting men tilling the soil. A ransacked backpack rests under the mural. A roaring sound can be heard from the north. Now you see you can actually move with the mouse if you want to as well. You can just click in the direction you want to move. And to be honest, for most of your movement that's absolutely fine, because you can use the number keys to move a specific number of feet in a single turn. If you want to take a little bit more control over what you're doing. And in combat situations, that can be quite useful. So here, for example, I might want to turn left and then go just 2 feet forward, so I can face that fire beetle a bit more effectively. But when you're just exploring, you may as well just use the mouse controls. Alright. So we're in room number 8 now. Room 8 is a passage with smooth stone walls and floor and a native rock ceiling. A loud roaring sound may be heard from the north. A humanoid skull rests on the floor in the middle of the passageway. Now, if you watch the 8-bit version, you remember that most of these treasures, supposed treasures, that are lying around here are actually a load of old rubbish. So I'm skipping over these ones because I can remember where some of the good ones are. A mist drifts into the corridor from an opening in the west wall, and a deafening roar is heard. Moss covers the floor before the opening to the west, and a rusty sword lies on the mossy stone. Again, not much going on in here. That treasure isn't worth buying, picking up, whatever, because it's just a load of old crap. Right. A loud roaring sound may be heard from the west end of the passage. A pyramid of medium-sized stones fills one corner of the north wall at the east end of the corridor. Right, let's go this way a little bit. And then up into this room here. Room 15 is an irregular cave of native rock. The walls and floor are covered with a heavy matting of multi-hued moss. The walls are brilliant reds, greens and blues, while the floor is a pastel yellow. A wooden box lies topless in the middle of the cavern floor. Inside lies a well-made cloak. The material of the cloak seems to shimmer in the torchlight. Now, this is something we want. There is a trap nearby. So I'm pressing S to find the trap, and there it is. It takes a few attempts sometimes because that's dependent on, I think, your intuition stat. So you won't necessarily find that immediately. So let's take a couple of steps forward and hope we don't tread on that trap, because I think we're far enough away. And then press G for get. Treasure number 4 is the cloak. So we should be able to go inventory. There we are. Treasure name number 4, cloak. Oh, it doesn't have the treasure descriptions in it from the look of things. Unless we can do query. Oh, here is nothing. No, okay. So the one thing you might still want the Book of Apshai for is the descriptions of the treasures, which was another use of the book. It would actually tell you a little bit about those treasures and what they look like and what they were for and that sort of thing. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I've just noticed the further away you put the mouse cursor from your character the further they walk. Okay, so you can do the different ranges of movement in this. That's good. Okay, examine. Found the secret door. So, can you move there? Yes, you can. Good. Can we open the door with the mouse? No, we cannot. Oh, for open. Right. The floor, walls and ceiling of the chamber bear the marks of tools. A glow fills the opening to the east and a foul, musty odour is in the air. Well, that's not good, is it? What is this? Is it junk? It is junk. Marvellous. Inventory. Trash. Let's drop that trash. Oops, that's the wrong button. Drop item. Enter number of treasure to drop. Number 20. Oh, you put it back down so you can pick it up again. I can't remember if you could do that in the original. Oh no! Fire beetle! But first, the room is well lighted by the phosphorescent glow emanating from the greenish-yellow algae covering the high ceilings of native rock and well-worked stone walls to the north and south. A broken bow lies in 2 pieces on the floor near the east wall. So from the descriptions you can usually tell when treasure is going to be worth going for or not. So in this case, a broken bow is probably not going to be much help. Now, is there anything? There is. I'm going off memories that are several months old at this point, so I think I remember where a lot of the secrets are. But we'll just have to see, won't we? The west wall of the cavern shows the marks of carving tools, but the rest is natural rock. The floor of the room is overgrown with mushrooms of 2 varieties. One has broad, flat caps and is white with brown splotches, while the second variety has black, tightly rounded caps. Okay, those mushrooms are actually worth something, if I recall. So let's go pick them up. I like that they've kept all the silly little jingles for the treasures. Alright, no traps. The passage reeks of spoiled and rotten matter. A strip of cloth sticks out from beneath a mound of dirt in the southern portion of the passageway. I think we'll leave that where it is for now. Small bones litter the floor of this chamber and crunch under the boots of the incautious traveller. Oh, that's just where the cloak was. Sorry, I'm just going to adjust my seating position a moment. Just doing me back in a bit. Okay, so we've sort of come around in a big loop there, so we can continue in this direction for now. Take a peek up here. The walls of the room are covered with algae. Most of the algae is black and rotten, but the few remaining brown patches have a nutty aroma, and, if tasted, are reminiscent of spiced bread. Now, I said this back when we played the 8-bit version, but if I was exploring a dungeon, the last thing I would think of doing is tasting some algae that is growing on the walls, but, well, there it is. There it is. Oh no, giant tick! Oh well, I ran away. I took some damage. But we'll be fine. Only the floor has been smoothed in this chamber, the walls and ceiling having been left in a natural state. The air smells of decaying vegetable matter. A small mound of stones against the west wall in the north end of the passage partially blocks the way to the north. Let's go this way. The native rock walls of the room are covered with algae. Most of the algae is black and rotten, but the remaining brown patches have a nutty scent and taste like spiced bread. The exoskeleton of a huge ant lies in the middle of a chamber. That's not ominous at all. There's some more algae for us. So yeah, you'll notice that most of the stuff in the descriptions, this is something that we brought up in the 8-bit version that I haven't mentioned today, but yeah, one of the things you'll notice about this game is that the presentation of the actual computer game side of things is very abstract, and it's encouraging you to use your imagination. It's effectively using the computer game like a board game that is helping to facilitate role playing rather than providing you with everything. So it's a bit like playing something like Hero Quest, where you have the board, you put the miniatures on the board and so on, but you don't see absolutely everything on the board. It's up to whoever is playing the Dungeon Master or equivalent for whatever game you're playing to explain what is going on in that room. And for you to then use your imagination to picture what is happening in that room. This cavern is also overgrown with the same types of mushrooms as are found in room 21. A skeleton lies among the mushrooms, still clutching the remnants of a sack. Alright, so that treasure could either be a load of rubbish or some more mushrooms. Either way, I'm having it. It's mushrooms! Hooray! Alright, let's proceed in this direction. Room 56 is a passage with rough stone walls and floor and a native granite ceiling. The south wall of the passage is faced with smooth, squarish stones near the far end, while the floor and other walls are of a rough stone. A foul, musty odour fills the air, and a thin layer of moss coats the floor at the extreme end of the passage. Well, let's keep going this way. Room 24 is a mossy, carved stone landing. The air is very humid and smells of damp and mould. A slime-covered sack rests against the eastern wall of the landing. That looks like the western wall to me, but, you know, I'm not judging. It's trash! It's trash. So let's just put that back down again. Let's go this way. A stagnant pond fills the south end of the carved stone chamber with a narrow landing at the south end. White mould covers the surface of the water save the southeast corner where a gold-coloured seaweed is in evidence. Tests will reveal the water to be 3 feet deep, but the bottom of the pool cannot be seen through the murk. Well, that sounds like water we should walk right into, doesn't it? And take whatever this is. Kelp. Delicious. A shallow pond fills most of the room. The surface of the water is covered with a white mould, except in the northeast corner where a clump of golden brown seaweed is visible. Is that more kelp? More kelp. Oh no, spiders! And they're close to me, so I'm going to attack. It dies! Excellent. No secret doors there. No secret doors there. No secret doors there. In order to find secret doors, you just have to face the wall you want to search. You don't have to sort of be lined up with it or anything like that. But yeah, it seems that there are no secret doors in this area. Oh no, fire beetle! Ow! Ow! It dies. Good. Right. Let's use a salve. H for heal. Thou art too far away. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. Thou art more well! There we go. Right, so where do we go from here is the question. Now, I remember somewhere on this floor there was a magic sword that lets you upgrade your weapon, as well as some magic arrows. Just got to try and remember where they are now. I think I can remember where they are, but let's just see. There's a bit of a walk back first. Oh no, giant tick! Can I hit him with an arrow from here? Yes, but doesn't kill him. There we go. Now, again, if you're not familiar with the 8-bit version of this, you do get experience points in this, but there is not an explicit leveling system. So instead, you sort of gain in power at various experience milestones, but it doesn't tell you that. So you just have to sort of kind of do it by feel, I guess you'd describe it as. So you'll know when you've leveled up behind the scenes, because combat will sort of mysteriously be a bit easier. The floor, walls and ceiling of the chamber bear the marks of I've been in here before. That's trash. Right, let's go to the room below, because I believe there's a secret door in there as well. There it is. Oh no, bomb beetle! Missed. Right. A dusty wooden chest sits in the southeast corner, the iron lock rusted through and the wood decaying from the dampness. Now, if I remember rightly, this chest is full of centipedes, so I'm just going to be a little bit careful approaching it. Don't appear to be any traps, at least, so let's just gingerly take a few steps forward. Very carefully. Okay, fair enough. No centipedes here. Alright, well, I guess I must have just got unlucky in the 8-bit version then. Let's go this way. The north and west walls of this chamber are lined with racks of rusty farming and stoneworking implements. So I don't suspect this treasure is going to be much. No, it's trash. Drop. The copper ingot's really heavy. I have maximum strength though, so I should be able to carry a whole bunch of loot before we have to leave. Room 52 is a smoothly worked passage. Shallow alcoves line the north wall, but are empty save for dust and an old boot that crumbles at a touch. The carpet of dust on the smooth floor is undisturbed. Ooh, so no one's been here. Until now. Right, this is where I wanted to be. So yeah, there is a trap on that chest. But there's also some magic arrows in that chest, so we just need to be a little bit careful. There we go. Oh, it's just normal arrows. Not magic arrows. Right. And is it that one or is it down? I can't remember. A rotting wood cabinet stands in the southwest corner of the chamber, the brass lock of the cabinet broken. That's where the arrows were. I think it's down to the south, so let's go that way. Room 49 is a narrow, high-ceilinged passage. Small slides of earth and stone line both walls of the tunnel. Room 31 is a narrow, low tunnel of native rock. Small slides of earth and rock line the sides of the passage, with a larger fall of stones near the eastern end of the tunnel. A skeletal hand protrudes from the rockfall, and an inscribed bronze ring visible on one of the fingers. Interesting. Oh no, centipedes! You think he'd... Ouch. You think he'd stop walking if he was getting hit by centipedes. But no. That's trash. That is trash. Right, I think there's like a zillion fire beetles in here. Or just the one, maybe? The clicking is replaced by a droning sound. A skull and some bones lie next to a quiver of arrows. There's our magic arrows. The tunnel floor is streaked with a stinking slime and littered with small and medium-sized stones. Alright, let's check that doorway here then. Swamp rat! Die! The droning continues to echo from within the cavern. An elaborately carved sword hilt sticks out from under a heap of rocks. Boot prints lead up to the pile, but no other signs of disturbance can be seen. Oh, swamp rat, hello. Stop hitting me! Magic sword, use it. Yes! Sword and gold. Sword glows. Yeah, so now we've upgraded our sword, so that should have a +1 on it now, I think. It was just me, but this feels easier than the old version. I don't know if it's just that I've got a better character, but I seem to be encountering less death. The smoothly carved northern and southern sections of the chamber contrast sharply with the native granite found in the middle of the room, suggesting that it has been widened out from a natural passage. A quiver and some arrows lie on the floor in the middle of the chamber next to a sword and a broken bow. Lots of arrows. Very nice. Giant ant. The tunnel appears to have been dug out of the hard earth. A familiar trail runs the length of the passage and the odour of vanilla is heavy. The clicking sound begins to fade. The vanilla scent, as I recall, is a sign that the ant-men are around. Room 32 is a rough 5-foot wide tunnel with packed dirt walls, floor and ceiling. A shining trail of dried fluid runs the length of the tunnel and the air smells of vanilla. Strange clicking sounds echo faintly through the passage. Room 35 is a rough cave carved out of the dense earth. The vanilla odour clogs the nostrils, and the clicking noises are still audible from within. A handful of gems litters the dirt floor before the western wall. Lots of ant boys in here. 5 diamonds. Very nice indeed. You're doing well for the loot. A shiny trail runs the length of the packed earth tunnel, and the odour of vanilla fills the air. The clicking grows louder. The odour of vanilla is strong, and the clicking sounds continue. The east wall is studded with glittering gems. That's nice, isn't it? I'm going to pass my turn and let that ant move into position. And I can shoot him with an arrow or miss completely. Shoot him! Lovely. Oh, there's another one. Hello. Taking a bit of damage here. More diamonds! Lovely stuff. A trail of shiny excretions ran the length of the passage, and the vanilla odour is stronger than before. The clicking sound is clearly audible from the north end of the tunnel. Vanilla fills the air, and the clicking sound appears to emanate from nearby. A fresh slide of earth against the north wall reveals the glitter of gems amid the fallen earth. Eight diamonds! Hooray! Right. This is all going swimmingly. I think we've almost been everywhere that is readily accessible. But there's probably some more secrets that we haven't found yet. Did I go that way? I think I did, didn't I? Hold on. I'm slightly confused. Where am I? What's this room? The floor of the passage is lined with the excretion of the aroma of vanilla fills the air. Clicking sounds echo faintly through the passage. I think we've been this way. Don't think we went this way, though. The trail of dried fluid is heavier here, and the odour of vanilla is almost unbearable. The clicking sound grows louder in this passage. Pit trap. So many ants. Any more? Yep. Come on then. You done? The vanilla odour is cloyingly thick. Bones and gems litter the floor along the north wall. The clicking sound is plainly audible within the cave. More diamonds. Yummy, yummy diamonds. The aroma of vanilla makes the senses reel, and the floor of the room is covered with the shiny stuff previously observed. Bones lie scattered across the floor, and the clicking sound grows fainter from within. Gems stud the south wall. So much diamonds. So many ants. Oh, no. We're getting a bit low on health. So I don't know if it's a good idea to head back. Because we've certainly got a real armful of treasure right now. But I also think we've nearly explored most of this floor now. The tunnel floor is heavily coated with dried fluid, and the aroma of vanilla is overpowering. The strange clicking sounds are now quite loud in this passage. Room 45 is a large cavern. The shiny stuff is lighter inside than in the connecting tunnel, but the vanilla odour is strong. The clicking sound appears to emanate from within. A pile of shiny cocoons fills the northern half of the room, and gems are scattered about the dirt floor. More diamonds, you say? Don't mind if I do. Any more? No. Good. The vanilla odour is still strong. The ceiling of the cavern is hung with the mouldering bodies of various creatures, mostly men. The shiny stuff is heavy on the floor, and the clicking sound is heard clearly. Gems are visible in the dust of the cavern floor. Well then. We'll just have to relieve the cavern floor of its gems, won't we? Right, I think I'm going to head back. Because there may well be some secret doors around the place. But I am hurting. I'm carrying a lot of treasure, and I don't want to lose any of it, really. So let's just see if we can remember the way back. So I'm not entirely convinced it's this way. But I am curious about what's this way, at least. A smoothly carved northern... Oh, we have been this way. Okay, yes, I do remember that description. There's some treasure we left behind. So yeah, I'm pleased. This is as enjoyable an experience on the ST as it was on the 8-bit. The way the experience is just streamlined just slightly enough to make things a bit more convenient while still keeping the feel of the original is really nice. And the visuals have got a bit of personality to them. I like that they've kept all the same sound effects. And the little musical stings and so on. Centipedes. Knew there were centipedes in here at some point. Right, time to go home. And there is home. There we go. Good lord, that's a lot of money we got. 3,854. All right, so if you look at what we've got now, we've now got a magic sword +1 that has replaced the broadsword we got before. We got 3,874 silver, which is probably actually enough to outfit us with pretty much everything we need from here. So if I go to armor, yeah, I can afford a suit of full plate mail now. Which we may as well do. Retail price, let's say 800. I'd not part with these fine goods for that pittance, mayhap for 1,000. What about 900, my good sir? Maybe 975? Yes. Okay, so I now got full plate mail. I've got a magic sword +1. I've got a bow. I've got arrows. I've got magic arrows. Got no salves left. No elixirs. But yeah, in a pretty good position. Got 209 experience points. So I think now it's time to save a character. Save that to disk. And that now means that I can load up that character and pick up where I left off anytime I want, which is nice. So you save your character separately from the game as such, because each time you go into each level of those dungeons, it basically resets that level, so you can go back and you can repeatedly pick up that magic sword and keep upgrading your sword, which is a bit of an exploit, but you know, it's how these things worked. But yeah, that's good fun. And it's still good fun. I do like that game. So I think what we might do is next time I might play some Upper Reaches of Apshai on this version, and then maybe we'll do some Curse of Ra as well. Because yeah, I do like this game a lot, and it's super cool to revisit on the Atari ST, a version I didn't know existed until quite recently. So that's cool. Anyway, we'll leave that there for today. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.